Welcome to episode 47 of Let's Talk Immigration. Welcome to you if you're live, or welcome to you if you are watching this as a recording later. Normally, I talk about what's going on with us and give a couple tips, and I don't have anything prepared for that, so I can jump right into questions when you're ready to ask them. If you have a question, ask on YouTube or Facebook, and they'll pop right up on my little screen. There's also a Telegram channel group that you can ask the questions to. Okay, so I do have one little tip. If you're a recent immigrant to the U.S., you're probably not watching this. But if you are, and you are watching this, and you're young, remember that there's something called selective service. And if you're a male, you need to register for selective service at the post office. If you do not do that, and then you later say, hey, I want to naturalize and be a U.S. citizen, that could potentially cause you a problem. So I've been meaning to circle back to our clients that have recently come in the U.S. in 2020, 2021, and 2022 that are young men and saying, hey, did you go to the post office? But I don't know the efficient way to do that. So anyway, if that's you and you're watching this, if you have questions about it, Google selective service or message us and I'll send you the link. While I'm thinking about it, talking to that same audience, our clients from 2020, 2021, 2022 that came into the U.S. Or 2023 that have recently came into the U.S., as long as you're a green card holder, you need to let USCIS know your address. So if you change your address, there is an online form. It's called AR11 where you can let USCIS know your address. But it's very important you do that because if there's ever problems with your green card or USCIS wants to get a hold of you, you want them to be able to reach you. You don't want them to make decisions without you being involved. Okay. So I did fit in a couple tips there. How about that? For those eligible for the DV lottery, DV 2025 lottery will be live within the month in October. And important frequently asked question is, hey, can I be, what if I was a selectee in 2020 or 2021 and my journey is still tied up in court? Can I enter in a subsequent year? Can you enter in 2025? Yes, you can. You can have more than one path to a green card concurrent paths, and then we find out which one is first, which is great. So I encourage all of our DV 2020 clients, all of our DV 2021 clients to also enter DV 2025, because if there's any way that we could get you in the United States without having to wait for the outcome of this appeal or what happens after, that would be great. Okay. Let's check into the questions. Liazid says, DV 2021, please. Okay, DV 2021. This is a general question I get a lot, and I want people to start asking this question with a little bit more precision. Well, let me tell you what I mean by that. The journeys for the majority of DV 2021 selectees ended on October 1st, 2021. The journeys that survived that date, the end of the fiscal year, were the journeys for the plaintiffs of Good Luck and the selectees who were waiting on interviews or visas from embassies in the case that were designated in the case called Ray, basically embassies in the Schengen area, South Africa, Brazil, and China. So if you are in one of those groups, the answer is different than if you were not. Because if you're not in one of those groups, your DV 2021 journey is over. If you're a Good Luck plaintiff, or you're eligible for or Go plaintiff, or you're eligible for one of those Ray visas, well, then your journey continues, but you have to wait for the outcome of the appeal. We do not know when the outcome of the appeal will be. We hope it is soon. That's all I have to say about that. Aquarius NK says, Dear Curtis, we have become zombies while waiting for the outcome. Please help us bring back to the normal state. I understand the frustration. I wish appeals did not take this long, but appeals take a long time. Remember, it's not the judge's fault. It's not the court's fault. This is the way the system works. It's President Joseph Biden's fault and Secretary Antony Blinken's fault for deciding to appeal these orders. I'm really upset about them appealing these orders lately for another reason, and that is especially the Gomez order. These orders are against Trump policies. So instead of just letting the visas be issued, Biden fighting these cases is going to be such a surprise and a relief for Trump if he's reelected and he takes office. Like, we're having an election in the U.S. in 13 months. And imagine Trump's surprise to find that during his 4-year absence, that Biden made sure that none of those DV selectees were issued visas. So yeah, I have a problem with President Biden and Secretary Blinken on this situation, but remember, it's their fault, not the judges. Okay. Question from YouTube. I'm a DV 2023 selectee. I went for an interview along with my 3 children, 2 biological and 1 adopted. And after the interview, I was told to do DNA testing with my 2 biological children, which I did. And later on the 6th of September, I was called to drop our passport, which I did. But on the 22nd of September, I was emailed to get our passports back because there were no visas. Sir, is there any solution to this problem? The answer is no. If you had said that the selectee had been issued a visa to where the selectee could come into the U.S. and petition for the rest of the family, then there would be a solution. But no, there's not a solution because the DV 2023 program is over. There's no more DV 2023 visas. They used all 55,000 and then some. So no, there's no path forward for DV 2023. Just enter DV 2025, and I hope you have better success. Omar says, hello there, Curtis. How are you? Hoping nice day to you. I am good, Omar. Thank you. Nice day to you. Sergey says hello. Hi. Hi, Sergey. I like that brown jacket you have in your photo. I need a jacket like that. I don't have one. Leah says, good luck. Thank you. Okay. DV 2020 plaintiff, 9,095 visas still rotting at the KCC? No, that's not true. Our American dream is long gone. Sir, is there any hope? Okay. Your American dream is not long gone. Your American dream is pending the outcome of an appeal by a 3-judge panel of the Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. Also, those visas are not physically located at the KCC. Those reserved visas, actually, a visa is really a concept, so I guess it's not like a coin or a piece of paper or something. It's not tangible. The State Department filed a declaration with Judge Mehta and Judge Chetkin that said that they had deployed those visas to embassies. Now, embassies cannot access it. They will have to run some code, but KCC is not going to be involved in the interviews or the issuances of reserved 2020 visas. So happy for the question because you gave me a chance to make that point. Eduardo says, sadly, see a lot of DV 2020, DV 2021 winners ask on post if there's any hope for them. Yes, that is sad because I keep telling you there is hope. It's premature to give up hope. We just have to wait for the outcome of the appeal. Okay. Angeline says, good evening. It's raining heavily in Liberia. My network is bad. Any news? Good luck, DV 2021. I hope you don't have flooding, and I hope you stay dry in Liberia. And I hope your network, I hope you can hear me. I've been talking about this before. I do not have news on the appeals. If I did, I would let you know for sure. I would email all of our good luck clients straight away, but I do not have news right now. Okay. Is it worth it to drop my life on this appeal? I'm waiting around 3 years. Do you recommend to wait or make it another way? If there's another way that you can make it, you need to have done that already, or you need to start it now, Omar. You can't rely on one path to get you where you're going. That's not the way this world works. You need to sometimes line up multiple paths and take the one that works, right? So I'm hopeful that we will win these appeals. But to be clear, not all of our clients, not all the DV Gomez class members, not all of the good luck plaintiffs will be issued reserved visas. There are not enough visas. So if you have another path, by all means, please take it. Please pursue it. Just because you pursue that path doesn't mean that you are abandoning this path, right? Okay, DV 2020, question mark. Crying emoji. Waiting for the outcome of the appeal. This would be a very boring video if I just got on screen and cried once a week for an hour. Nobody wants to see that. Okay. But so, I sympathize with what you are feeling. I just don't want that to be what this show is about. Okay. Expedite appeal. Should be sooner, but why it seems our case position that it seems be possible a decision take more years. Actually, I'm not sure if it should be sooner because appeals take a long time and it's an arbitrary amount of time and it's based upon what is the priority for the panel of judges. And I'm not questioning their wisdom and I don't want any of my clients questioning their wisdom either. So would it be nice if this whole situation was resolved sooner by the Biden administration dropping the appeal? Yes, but that's not what's happening. So we have to wait for the court process to play out by itself. Listen, y'all can't keep asking the same question over and over. This is making this show very boring. Come up with a new question. Taylor Swift has a new boyfriend. Ask me about that. Anything. Okay. James Manoia lost his phone. I am sorry, James, who's now using Angeline's Facebook. I hope you're able to find your phone. Okay. Mosin said, I recently got citizenship and I had a child as a derivative. Do I have to apply for a minor separately because he was added as a derivative when I had a green card? I have bad news, Mosin. When you became a citizen, your spouse's visa application category changed. She's no longer eligible for F2A, which allows for derivatives. She's only eligible for IR1, possibly CR1, but probably IR1. And IR1 does not have derivatives. So your child at this point does not have an immigration path. Now, there's two ways you can create an immigration path for that child. You can file an I-130 form through USCIS, and that process is going to take a year and a half. Or you could look into what's called a direct file. We do those we also do I-130s with USCIS, but a direct file at the embassy under certain exceptional circumstances, you can actually do the I-130 through the embassy. The procedure for that is preparing the I-130 in advance, but not submitting it to USCIS. If you submit it to USCIS, this is no longer possible. And then we email the embassy and we cite the exceptional circumstances and how they fit with the law on why you should be allowed to submit your I-130 at the embassy. And then it's up to their discretion if they allow it. I'm a big fan of that process because it is quicker. It does require you as the U.S. citizen petitioner to visit the old country and attend an interview at the embassy, which could be different than your child's interview. Message give us a call at Morrison Arena or message me personally, either one, and we can talk to you more about those two options. But you need to do one of them because right now your child doesn't have a path to the U.S. What about F2A visas? There's a retrogression and it's disappointing. I agree. Any hope that it goes back to current again, or another way if anyone applies from outside the U.S.? Okay, so I don't understand the last part, but basically, I do not have hope that the visa bulletin goes to current for F2A visa categories. There is a reason I do not have hope. For the majority of the last 20 years, I actually looked this up and I did a tweet about it a couple months ago. For the majority of the last 20 years, F2A was not current in the visa bulletin. It became current in 2020 and it was great. And for some reason, everyone forgot the way it used to be. It used to always be that the spouses or children of green card holders, their paths were 2.5 to 4.5 to 5 years because F2A was not current in the visa bulletin. And so now we've returned to that scheme. I do not see that changing overnight. So if there's any way as a petitioner, you can naturalize so that your beneficiary will be IR1. That solves your visa bulletin problem. But from the last question, you know that if your beneficiary has children that are either your children or stepchildren, you need to file separate petitions for them. Because if you don't and you naturalize, they lose their paths under your spouse's F2A because their spouse would not be eligible for F2A anymore. Hope that's clear. Maybe more information than you wanted. Okay. Omer says, in my view, nothing compares to the U.S. It's land to making your dream true. I don't have another path yet, but I began working on it because appeal take a long time. I knew this is normal for appeal, but we are very tired. I understand. I'm very tired too. But it's always good to have a plan B in life, right? So start working on your plan B if you haven't already. I'll go back to that for a second. Usually when you start working on your plan B is when plan A comes through. It's been my experience. I don't know. The universe is weird like that. Good luck, DV 2021, please. Flora, I agree. It's not a question. So I don't know what to say. Wonderland says, what I meant was application has already been filed outside the country. The spouse is outside the country. Okay. I understand. Yeah. So the spouse needs to stay outside the country until you as petitioner, until they are able to get a visa, which means either the priority date comes current in the visa bulletin for F2A or you naturalize so that you're no longer subject to the visa bulletin. Okay, I've knocked out all the questions in just 18 minutes. I think I cheated because I didn't give tips and chit chat at the beginning, but that's the way it is. This is going to be the shortest episode maybe of Let's Talk Immigration. Cutting this baby off before to the 20-minute mark. Everybody have a great week. Join you next week for episode 48.